dawn in the desert, a clear and chilly November morning. We are near the city of Buckeye, Arizona, where a caravan of cars is arriving, carrying volunteers. For the next several hours, they will comb this unforgiving landscape, looking for a young man who's been missing since June of 2021. His name, Daniel Robinson. And leading the search, not law enforcement, but Daniel's father, David.
Where is everybody located?
For 9 painful months, Robinson and his team of volunteers, people he now calls family,
This is my family.
have been desperately trying to find any trace of his son.
He's a very bright, intelligent geologist. Anything that Daniel wanted to do, he would do it. He's born without a right hand, but he found ways to master anything that he wanted to do. You know, he's a geologist. Of course, Arizona is the ideal place.
In June 2021, Daniel had just begun a job doing field work at a desert well site. He'd always kept in close touch with his family back home in South Carolina. But around this time, Daniel suddenly stopped calling.
I tried to call his phone constantly. He wasn't answering.
In fact, the whole family tried calling Daniel. Nothing. His sister in Arizona checked his apartment. No one there.
I was worried. I didn't want to panic because I didn't want my children to panic, so that's when I decided to call the Buckeye Police Department.
The Buckeye PD is a small one with barely more than 100 officers. Nevertheless, they began investigating by first checking the area where Daniel was reportedly working. Nothing turned up. 2 days later, David Robinson, desperate for answers, felt he had to take matters into his own hands.
I just grabbed everything I had, threw it in my vehicle, and just started driving. And I made it here. I came straight through. Left South Carolina, came straight to Arizona.
Some 45 hours later, David arrived in this daunting desert, exhausted, but in a panic. His son was out here somewhere, all alone, facing 3-digit heat, rattlesnakes, and not a soul or building in sight. So on his own, David started searching and soon made his way to the well site where his son was last seen.
This is where it all began. This is where the whole narrative started. My son drove off into the desert and vanished, maybe from here.
David then met with a witness, a co-worker of his son's, who said he saw Daniel at the well the day he disappeared.
He did tell me that my son seemed like he was looking out into space somewhere, looking out into the desert terrain, kind of staring off, and was acting really quiet. And then he told me my son just kind of waved off to him, got in his vehicle, and drove off.
Where he went and what exactly happened next, no one seems to know. Soon after that meeting, David began recruiting volunteers to help him search the sprawling Sonoran Desert. Every Saturday for the next few weeks, they scoured this barren, treacherous landscape. They have not found Daniel. Then, in July 2021, a break, a big one. A local rancher found Daniel's Jeep rolled over in a remote ravine.
When I first saw that crash site, I was really devastated. This place I had to go to and see for myself.
The airbags had deployed. The sunroof looked as if it had been kicked open, perhaps used as an escape route. And this was odd. Outside the Jeep were what appeared to be Daniel's clothes and work boots, his wallet still in his blue jeans. Inside the vehicle was his college ID, laptop, keys, cell phone, and plenty of bottled water. To help make sense of this mystery, David hired private investigator Jeff McGrath, an expert at reconstructing accidents. He has a theory of what might have happened.
There was nothing along this route that the vehicle took into that bottom ravine that matched the damage. It's telling me the vehicle was probably crashed somewhere else. Either moved here or it was continued to be driven, and this was its final stop. And whether somebody stole it in joyriding, whether Daniel was in it, but it tells me something happened somewhere else.
The Jeep has since been moved to a secured location for further analysis, but plenty of evidence still remains of the crash.
I don't believe it was enough to kill, no. The airbags had enough force to do some damage. They strike you in the face, and they come out with a lot of force, and it could cause a concussion. But there wasn't enough violence here in this crash to cause a lethal.
That suggests Daniel survived and was perhaps disoriented and maybe wandered aimlessly into the desert. Could this be other than accidental? Could foul play be involved in Daniel's disappearance? It's something McGrath and David have not ruled out. It's something police have examined too. To this point, there is no evidence of that. None at all. Whatever happened back in June of 2021 has David Robinson now bracing for the worst.
It's hard to say you're searching for your son, walking around the desert with no clothing, no shoes. So I had to mentally put it in my head that I'm doing a recovery. So I need to go find every spot I can out here to rescue my son. He may be hurt, injured, somewhere stuck, whatever. I need to find my son. Yeah, I found something up here interesting.
David is hoping to get more attention, help, and resources from the Buckeye PD, which says this is still an ongoing investigation, although so far not a criminal one.
Okay, so we're still working this side.
He's also tried to enlist federal help. In the fall of 2021, the Buckeye PD briefed the FBI and asked for their assistance. The Bureau recently told us they're still assessing the case. So far, they have not gotten involved. So for now, David Robinson and his team of volunteers continue to search.
I really have faith that somehow God can bless that he's alive somewhere, and I hope so. I am not stopping. He's my son. He's my responsibility. He's a fighter. He never give up on anything. I definitely won't give up on him.
When the lights and camera turn off, I will be here. When the interest and conversation fade, I will be here. When there's no one around, a father will do anything it takes to be there for his son, to protect his family.
Without these special people behind me, I wouldn't have a search. Hello, everybody. This is Dave Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson. Thank you guys for coming in and joining in with me on this live. I won't be long tonight. I just wanted to come in and to talk about Daniel, of course, my son, a geologist that graduated from the College of Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina. You guys who have been following this channel have been hearing the stories about Daniel for over 2 years now. Daniel has been missing for over 2 years. It's been very hard road for my family and I to do everything we can to search for him. We're still continuing the efforts. The efforts are still going. So I'm grateful, like I said, you guys for coming in just to listen. Tonight I will be talking about my son Daniel, and we go over some of the same things I have been going over for over 2 years, explaining who Daniel is, about where we come from, his job as a geologist, how he went missing, things like that, to give those who may not have heard Daniel's story an opportunity to hear about it. Of course, this is almost like a reset, you guys. Daniel has been missing. It's like for us as a family, it's like day one. We had to keep on and continue the efforts, had to keep on continuing the fight. It's a nonstop deal until I bring my son home. You guys, the first thing I started off, and I said at the beginning, I would not leave Arizona until I bring my son. Of course, you guys, realistically, sometimes life does not allow us to do things the way we intend to do it. But my heart, my mind, my focus, and my efforts are still there, and we're still fighting in Arizona to bring my son back home. But like I said, it was not a constant thing. Had to be making trips back and forth from my home in South Carolina as well. So you guys can understand how frustrating that can be. Saying from ground zero, when you're a soldier like I was in the army, we were trained to we go out into these missions, we complete a mission. We don't leave until that mission is over. And so one of those biggest parts is trying to keep the efforts going and keep that mission going. So my son, it became a mission for me, you guys. From the day that I left South Carolina, I had to leave with that in mind. Hey, look, Daniel is my mission. He's my son. I had to keep my mind focused on that and make sure I do everything in my power to be able to do everything I can to search for Daniel. Of course, that was working with law enforcement, try to do everything I can to get them any information they may need to aid me in my search. I'm the kind of father who will go out and put my hands on things. I'm not going to sit back and make phone calls without actively looking. So again, Daniel, he's a geologist, graduated from the College of Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina. He's a native of South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina. If you guys know, that's the capital of South Carolina, and he's been born, raised there. He has siblings, of course. He's the youngest of his first set of siblings that he grew up with, and Daniel's the baby boy. And looking at his older siblings, Daniel has someone to look up to, and try to I guess overachieve, because Daniel is one of those persons. And I put a smile on my face when I think about that, because again, you guys hear some of the same things that Daniel, how challenging he is for himself. When he wants to do something, he's subscribed to do something, he actually do it. I have never seen Daniel give up on anything in life. I have never seen him just stop. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like I said, you guys, he kept going. He looked at his siblings excel in his grades. Every time you look around, we definitely see him having some type of honor given to him. You guys already know about the instruments, him playing the French horn and playing the trumpet, teaching himself how to be able to do that. Some people say, how you do that with your left hand, because he don't have a right hand, you guys. And he was able to, growing up, one thing about Daniel growing up, we never ever let him even believe that he had a handicap. He don't even believe it's a handicap. Matter of fact, the way we look at it is a blessing for Daniel, because it gave him that drive, like I said, to achieve anything he wants. Daniel went to the College of Charleston, like I said earlier. He fully decided to go ahead and go into geology, fell in love with it once he took the class his freshman year. And from that point, like I say, he graduated with honors, you guys. He also is a founder of his local chapter for his fraternity there in the College of Charleston there. And so I've said Daniel has a lot of friends. He's a really friendly, oriented person. Daniel, like I said, even in college, graduated honor. Like I said, you guys, he was achieving he was doing all of that. Of course, as a parent, worrying about that type of stuff, you out enjoying yourself with your dorm life and things like that in school. But like I said, from that, but he still achieved and did what he needed to do to get his degree. So decided to take his degree out to Arizona and start his life and his career. Daniel, like I told him when he was a young man, hey, the world is big in South Carolina. You need to get out and span your wings, the horizon, and and set your life to do some things. Daniel's his aspirations and dreams was to travel, to go out to different countries to learn about other people's cultures. As well, they'll just travel abroad, you guys, as well as starting his own business. He's an entrepreneur spirit. He wanted to become a millionaire before he's 30. So, he had those dreams and thrives to do it. And I believe him. I believe him the way he was setting himself off to go. I believe he would gotten there. And I was there to his family as well to help him get to go along with everything he wants. Unfortunately, I go back. He landed his first job in life with a company called Matrix New World. It's also called Matrix Southwest Groundwater. You guys know it's in Phoenix, Arizona on 44th Street. You guys, he landed a job at the engineering company, and they hired him on as a field geologist, also called a hydrogeologist. And, his job is to go out to various well sites where, as a scientist, he was to just assess those wells, and what that company do is to determine if those groundwaters can produce at least 100 years of water. That is something required by law in the state of Arizona. It's a desert state, so they do utilize groundwater. So his job is very important. Also, the company itself testing the water to make sure the waters are safe as well. So it's a lot to it that entails of his job and the way he does his job. He do go, like I said, to assignments. He got a work computer. You guys probably heard about the work laptop, but he have a work computer that he utilized and get his assignments where he would go out into various places to normally meet representatives or workers from another company. Usually be a drilling company, the company that actually drill the wells will actually go out and do that. So, of course, that's what happened, you guys, on June the 23rd of 2021. Daniel had 2 assignments that morning. For what I was told, again, you guys, there's a lot to the story, you guys. So when you hear me say it a certain way, because I'm currently, like I said, in the background, I haven't been on live here, you guys, but I have been doing a lot of work. I've been blessed to get a really good lead, you guys, on some things. So I'm hoping some positive stuff come out of that. Still working on it. So I will be sharing that with you guys once I get more intel on it, and some more confirmations on things. But you know what? Like I said, that morning, what I understand is that he was assigned to 2 well sites. Of course, the second well site, that's a questionable scenario right now because we don't even know if he actually made it to that well site. So there's a couple of things you guys may hear some of these things, but like I said, it goes along with everything I'm doing as well. But the second well site was told that he was meeting another person from a company called Weber. You guys know Ken from a company called Weber. He works for Weber Waterworks. My son was supposed to be meeting him at that well site. And the story about what happened to my son started from that point. But I'm not coming here tonight to give that narrative because, I can't go along with that narrative right now. But I can tell you guys that he went missing on June the 23rd. And, we've been fighting. I've been fighting ever since. My family been fighting ever since. You guys have been fighting ever since to try to locate Daniel. Law enforcement started off slow, but you guys, with the efforts that you guys been pushing along with me, that's why I put the video, the date line in the beginning. You guys kind of give a little memory, a little recap of how things were when you're out there in the desert desperately searching for your son, and then you have the backing of people that I call my family, the backing of my extended family out there, just putting the efforts in. We have to find other human remains and things like that. Solving the case for the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office when we found a stolen car that they were looking for. So, that type stuff. So we're out there working. I'm working out there with people who have loving hearts and have an empathy for others. They don't even know. Some that have missing loved ones themselves was out there searching with me side by side. So like I said, and with the pressure of you guys who have not been to Arizona, been calling law enforcement and doing everything on your parts to try to help us get some actions and things into my son's case. It's because of you guys and the efforts. I really appreciate each and every last one of you to be working alongside with me and getting law enforcement to move the needle forward. Had I had not come to Arizona, you guys know how that would have went. And I saw again, you guys, that's what I'm coming here tonight to talk shortly just about my son. I also want to share a couple missing person stories tonight, and also I want to get in the chats and engage with you guys for a little while. I haven't been, like I said, been here on this live for a while. I had a little issue, you guys, and I can be honest with that. Right after the Candlelight Visual, I didn't know that it would affect me the way that it really did. It really affected me really bad. Just hearing those families. I'm still not feeling too well with that, but just had to hear other families, the pain that other families go through. I hear it all the time, but it was even more so powerful with the backdrop of the fact that Daniel's been missing for 2 years. Those realities kick into your mind, and it's hard. It's hard for families. So I had to take a break, you guys. I had to take a break from doing the lives, but I couldn't take a break from my actions and my work in the background and keep things rolling. But I just wanted to make sure I wasn't here on the live streams just so much for right now. And I'm trying to slow those things down. So if you guys go to pleasehelp5day.com, you kind of could tell that I changed the time. It's not on Wednesdays. It's just whenever. The day is not Wednesday. I just do it whenever it's very convenient, and also when I can handle that. So you guys, so of course, you guys, I really appreciate those who are in the audience right now, showing your love, who's listening in, showing your love. Like I said, that's the reason why you guys haven't seen me and things like that. But I'm coming back into it, doing more lives again, going back into it to keep this awareness in Daniel's case, because it's very important, very crucial to his case, is to keep his story out there. So I will, you guys probably know also, I'm not sure if they put it out yet, but I will be a part of this year Crime Con again. They invited me out to Orlando to be a speaker out there as well. So I'll be doing some things publicly to try to help get Daniel's story out there, keep it out there, in the air for those who may have never heard a story, and try to reach those persons or person who knows something. So those efforts are still there, keeping the outreach out there for Daniel. But also, like I said, to have you guys doing things like the mail-in protests that you guys are still doing, that is helping with Daniel's case not becoming cold. That's keeping Daniel's case in law enforcement's mind, that type deal. It's a method to the madness, you guys, and I've been saying that before in the past. It's a method to reason why I ask you guys to continue to send those redundant flyers into those departments so they can see them. It's visual, so they can see them, they can get them, they know it's keep coming, that type deal. So Daniel's case is not forgotten and pushed in the back of a closet somewhere in the file. So I'm working hard on that. Again, I want to go really quick, you guys, and I want to look into the chats because I miss you guys. I miss talking with you guys, and just really answering your questions and things that you may have in the chats. And so, of course, you have any questions about Daniel's case, of course, I'm there here in the chats as well to look down and see if I see any questions and answer those. Of course, you guys who have been here before know that if you have a question, you guys, I'd like for you to put the word question before your question, a question, big question mark, or the capital letter Q, to let me know that you have a question. It'll be easier when I'm coming down the comment section to determine which are questions and others. And so, of course, you guys, you can do it that way. That definitely will help me out as I'm coming down the comment section. So I really appreciate that. But I want to first start off and say, hey, you know what? Thank you, Sammy P, for being here tonight to listen in on this live, as well as Tracy. Thank you so much for being here. And also, good evening to you. Good evening to you. Also, Cara, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, and I really thank Dateline, you guys. They was out there in the desert with me when this right here was recorded, I believe, in 2021 or probably the beginning of 2022. They was out there in the desert with me, and Robert Dean. I don't know if you guys know him or not, but very great man. He didn't just stop. Once they left the desert with me, he didn't just stop from there. A lot of these reporters and these journalists are like that, but Robert Dean especially is one of those who constantly. I mean, I most likely with him at least hear from him at least once or twice a week. He'll leave a message and say, "Hey, man, I'm checking on you, see how you're doing." Things like that. So these people are real people. They have lives and they have those journalistic jobs they have to do, and they're always busy. But it's amazing to see them stop sometimes and just check in with you. So I really thank Dateline as well. Like I said, Robert Dean, Dateline as well for everything they do. Also, thank you. Hey, I got Valzel. Thank you so much. 279. Thank you so much. Good evening to you. Thank you so much for coming off the YouTube side to join in with me tonight. Tia Wildflower, thank you so much for moderating as well as being here. You put a smile on my face. It's good to see you here. And thank you so much for everything you've done. You was the only ambassador at the time when I was doing the ambassador program. So I really appreciate you doing that and also doing all the other things that you do. So thanks so much for being here, as well as Storm. Thanks so much for being here. God bless you for coming out and support. Also, thank you, Lindell. Thanks so much for being here. I'm still praying for you and to find answers. Thank you, because the prayer changes things, and I definitely believe in that. Also, thank you again, Valzel. Thanks so much, and thanks so much for your comment. I really appreciate that. God bless you. And thank you again for being here. Esther, thank you for your constant support to the channel. And to Daniel, I really, truly appreciate you for being here tonight. Also, let's see, have Key. Thank you for being here as well. I love how you speak about your son, Daniel. I so love the energy and tenacity you have, your ambition, and continuously to look for your son. I hope and wish you find Daniel. And I will, say faith, it's an action word, Key. And you know how I feel about this is an action word. You cannot expect anything if you don't do anything. You can have all the faith you want to, you can say what you want to. You have to put actions behind your faith. And I have faith. And, some people say, hey, it's been over 2 years. Who's to say faith don't last over 2 years? Who's to say? But you have to keep that faith, you have to keep that action going. But you see all the good things that came out of the search for Daniel. We had the events to help get other loved ones' stories out there. You guys would be surprised. We found human remains to bring closures for other family. Had we not been out in the desert for search for Daniels, sadly to say, those people remains probably would have still been out there somewhere. So good things could come out of tragedy. So like I said, but my faith is there, and I know in due time, when the time is right, and the day is the day, tomorrow is the day where I will find Daniel, and I will continue to believe that. So thank you so much, Key, for saying that. Trailer Park, thanks so much for being here. Trailer Park Farm, I truly appreciate you. M. Singer, thanks so much for being here. And let's see who else I got here. Tia Wildflower, thanks so much for putting the information up there. I truly appreciate your moderation here. Please join Weekly Mail in Protest, you guys, the PDFs. You guys can find it on pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. So thank you so much, Tia Wildflower, for reminding everybody of that. Also putting this up, you guys, if you have information that would help to bring Daniel home, you guys, use the tip line. The tip line is there, you guys. You can see it on the bottom. I'm sorry, I got the wrong one here, but you can see it on the bottom of the screen there. You guys, you can also utilize that number. And if you don't want to talk to anybody, it's a 24-hour live operators. I pay for the service, you guys. If you don't want to talk to anybody at all, you just text the word tip to the number, and you can still remain anonymous. So you guys, if you have any information, now is the time to speak. It's been over 2 years. Now is the time to speak. Give us something that would bring Daniel home. So I again, thank you so much, T and Wildflower, for putting that up there, and reminding everybody of the tip line as well. Also, let me see, Esther, thank you again for being here. No worries. You must continue to take care of yourself and your loved ones. Yes. Some may know also I had some family things I had to take care of in South Carolina as well. That brought me back and forth from out of Arizona. So yes. Also, thank you again, TNY Flower. If you have any questions, please put the capital letter Q or write the word question or put a question mark before your questions so that it can easily be identified. And that is making it so easy for me. Thanks so much, TNY Flower PM channel. Thank you for your constant support to this channel as well as to Daniel. So thank you so much for being here tonight. I truly appreciate you. Thank you, Anissa. Thank you so much for being here and your love, and thank you for your presence, your love and actions as well. So I truly appreciate everything you and your husband do. Wonderful people. Is also always in my mind when I first met you. You're the same person as I can imagine when I read these. When I see your super chats and things like that, I can the same person, sweetheart, nice person. So I really truly appreciate you for being here tonight and supporting. And let's see who else I have here. Vanessa, again, thanks so much for being here, Vanessa. Like I said, and and helping out in every way that you can. And thank you again for the super chat. I truly appreciate that. Daniel's on my mind, and in my thoughts and prayers every single day. Please help find Daniel. Hashtag please help find Daniel, guys. We have the hashtag please help find Daniel. Hashtag justice for Daniel. You guys, you can utilize those hashtags. That would help with algorithms. Also, you guys, I don't want to forget while I'm thinking about it, please hit that like and share and subscribe. But even if you plan not to be back, I'm hoping you do because we have a lot to share. This is about Daniel's story, to keep a story out there. But at the same time, I share with other family stories as well. And you guys, we're trying to get these stories out there, get the information out. So if you can stay, we want you to come by, and check out the channel and listen to these stories and hear Daniel's stories. And you got information you may know, etc. The support. We really need all of that. At the same time, if you guys can, hit that like and share, subscribe button because they help with the algorithms. That help this channel to grow. The more people that we have join the channel, the further out I can get information out about Daniel to more people. So like, share, subscribe is a channel to get to more outreach and things like that. So that's the reason why. It's not, hey, I want to have the biggest channel in the world. No, it helps with getting that information out there to people. This is not an entertainment channel or thing like that. So it's not the content creator where I'm making a living off of it or something out of this. Get Daniel's story out there. So I need your help in doing that. Also, thank you again, Anissa. I truly appreciate you for that super chat. God bless you so much. Brad Thompson, I was Daniel's classmate. Thank you so much. It's good to hear a classmate here and work with him at our museum. I miss him and hope you find answers too. Thank you, Brad. And also, I really thank all of Daniel's friends. One of the information that I did receive came from Daniel's friends, one of his friends. So this is also a good lead that I'm working on, you guys. We're working on Daniel friend, and so I'm telling you guys, it's really good to hear people who know Daniel personally, who's been dealing with him out in the College of Charleston, been out there with him, and can testify to the kind of person that Daniel is when it comes to his friendly nature and things like that. People really tell me that all the time. They really enjoy Daniel. Daniel is a real high-spirited person and friendly person. So that's just who he is. So thanks so much, Esan, for being here. I truly appreciate you being here tonight and your constant support as well. Thank you also, Brad Thompson. Thank you again. Thank you also, Karen Washington. Thank you so much for being here. God bless you and all your support. I truly appreciate you being here off the Facebook side. Esther, thank you so much again. Time and space does not exist between hearts. Love and faith is everlasting. And I truly believe that. So thank you so much. Aaron Chase, thank you so much. And I want to say one thing. I'm going to Esther. Thanks so much, Esther, for everything you do in the when you send us emails and stuff like that and information. I truly appreciate that. I will be getting back with you because I've seen a lot of that when I went into the Please Help Find Daniel Yahoo.com. So I really appreciate what you're doing, and I will be getting with you. Also, thank you, Aaron. Thank you so much for everything you have done. A lot of people don't know all the work you have been doing in the background, so I truly appreciate you and your efforts in helping with Daniel's case. And also, I have Forever Curious. Thank you so much for being here. Also, I have a question here from Valzel 279. Did you get any DNA from Daniel's truck or other than his DNA? And and that's one of the things I'm still working on, Valzel, is to get the law enforcement. And I'm still, you guys, this battle is not over with law enforcement. You guys, when I say it's not over, everything you guys, if you guys have read the latest report from the Buckeye Police Department, with all the drama and all the what I call sensationalizing the case to writing a book and putting unnecessary information in and what he or she said and drama and all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, you guys, and trying to prove a point to themselves or whatever the case may be, at the end of the day, you still have questions that put you right back at 0-1. We haven't never gotten anything from the Buckeye Police Department today that would bring us closer to finding out what happened to Daniel. We haven't had anything. And one of the things that's a problematic for me is the fact that the Buckeye Police Department is still resisting a criminal investigation to my son's case, despite of all the physical evidence that we gave them of foul play. They'll argue to the first face turned blue. There's no evidence of foul play. There's no evidence of no foul play either. And so if they say that, but it is evidence of foul play, they're just rejecting it, you guys. And so I'm fighting really hard to get the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Zone. I'm gonna call him out all I can, you guys. I thought of him as a great guy. At the same time, my son is missing, and my son went missing in Maricopa County, guys. So he has some jurisdictional responsibility to my son, and I'm fighting for that. I'm fighting for that because I need fresh eyes into my son's case. I need the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office to open their own investigation, and I need to get rid of this DNA evidence that you're talking about, Vizel. The DNA evidence I'm still paying for every month, you guys. It's costing me money. Is in danger of being lost forever. I hate to say it that way because money do not grow on trees. You guys are very expensive, and so to keep things going forever. I don't have the constant resources from tax dollars like law enforcement have coming in every week, every day, or whatever, and they spend it the way they want to, except for doing the right thing and really process Daniel's vehicle, really process those clothing to see if it's clothes that we don't identify, etc. You guys, so that kind of stuff. I'm still holding on to the things that need to be processed by the law enforcement agency. And as long as they're doing it, the longest there's some litigation and things that's going to be going on with them, because I'm telling you guys, they're causing my son's case to Maricopa County as well, causing my son's case to be in jeopardy if something was to come up and they find out is foul play, hard foul play evidence, and then here it is, the damage that law enforcement allowed happened to my son thing. So yeah, I'm still fighting for that, Vizel. Still going on with that battle. Still working with other agencies I cannot name right now, but working with other people as well to force law enforcement to do right things. So kind of keeping quiet just because sometimes people don't hear things in public. Don't mean that nothing is going on. They may think, say, "Oh, Mr. Rouse get quiet. He must be leaving us alone." No, they're gonna receive a lot really quickly, and in law enforcement term, really quickly when it comes to that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm still working on getting the DNA done on Dan's vehicle correctly, and as well as getting the DNA stuff off of those clothing, getting the things processed the right way is the way I want to say it. So yeah, still working on that. So I don't have that right now, but that's what I'm working on, Vizel. Also, so fresh, so smell. So Phil, thanks so much for being here, and thank you so much for you already know for being a part of the 18. My friend, personal friend, as well as a board member of the Daniel Ross Foundation, and everything you do. You're the auntie, one of the aunties for Daniel. So I truly appreciate you for being here and moderating as well, being here tonight, because I know how busy you are. So thanks so much for taking time out to be here tonight. So thank you. Also, let's see if I have anybody here as well that I haven't seen in a while or in the new names. Faith, I have a question here also. Thank you, Faithfully Maria. Thanks so much for your question. And thank you so much for joining in and being a part. Are you planning to doing more searches? Yes, I do plan on doing more searches, but the kind of resources and things I really need to do right now, I'm still working on those things because you know what? I had some criticism in the past. You guys say, hey, it don't cost money to do it. It does cost money. So you can tell law enforcement that it don't cost money to do searches, and they'll tell you something. They'll tell you the truth about that. But it does cost money to do proper searches. I'll just put it that way. Proper searches. We're dealing with hundreds of people. You have to make sure that everything is running a certain way, and certain avenues are there. Things are there to make sure everybody's safe. And also, not only that, you guys, it's timing and everything else with everything going on with the weather. I got to make sure everybody's safely. So right now, because I've been hearing, don't get me wrong, in 2021 with Dan with missing, we was out there in rescue mode, and I can't say that. I mean, it was hundreds of volunteers out there. We was working out. I shortened it. It's supposed to be like 6:45 in the morning to like 10:45 to 11. And we'll be out there till 4 in the afternoon searching in 118-degree weather. And that weather, Arizona can get to 118 degrees, especially out there in that Buckeye Desert. And that's what they're having right now. What I'm hearing, the weather is really bad and things like that. So, just make sure that everybody's safe. So that's my plan, is to have searches, but I just don't know when, because I do have some leeway with the owners of those lands, so I can cross over their property to get to these areas that I need to search. After the Arizona summer month of this year, okay, there you go, for the rest of that question. But yeah, the fall season I think would be a lot better because we do have. I think right now Arizona's supposed to be in the monsoon season. I can't remember exactly when those were, but yes, the fall would be a whole lot better than trying to do it now. Definitely. I heard about Dane's story from Voices for Justice, and I really appreciate them for sharing Jamie's story as well, because that's very important. Getting our stories out there. So I truly appreciate them for doing that. So excuse me, guys. You can tell I'm losing my voice. It's going away very rapidly here. So again, I'm not going to be doing a long live tonight, but I'm trying to do my best. And thank you so much, Faithfully Maria, for your question. And thanks so much for being here. Jay, thank you so much for being here. Joy, thank you so much for being here as well, being a part of this live. Also, I have Willie. Why do you think Buckeye Police Department is being so resistant? I don't know. I can't read the minds of Buckeye, but I can tell they are being resistant to opening up a criminal investigation. They're really quick on trying to, without evidence, saying they'll see no foul play. They can't tell me why they don't see any foul play. I tell you guys, and I will be sharing those once I get everything together. Guys can hear more of my conversations with law enforcement when I recorded myself talking with law enforcement about Detective Biffin telling me why he feel that he didn't need to do no forensics on the scene. It stunned me when I went back to listen to those things, and I'm like, so all this time this guy was telling me, and I was sitting there telling you guys in the meeting that I had with Buckeye, and I recorded that as well, is that they told me they didn't do any forensics on that scene. And so, like I said, hadn't I pushed that, you guys, there would have been no swabbing of the steel wheel and the shifter when I forced them to do what I call fingerprinting when I asked for. And, but they literally pulled that vehicle from the scene with nothing. They just say, here's his clothing and everything for safekeeping. They didn't have any intentions at all to do anything, right? And he told me, he explained it to me on the phone call. So those are things I will be utilizing in the future. But I'm telling you guys, that's the kind of stuff with the Buckeye Police. They've been very resistant for whatever reason to put there. But y'all gonna be really shocked when y'all start hearing some of the details about what they say they found when it comes to this Mile IQ app and things like that. So I'm working on those kind of things, you guys. This is not the platform tonight to get into that, but it's a lot of that will be coming. Willie. Also, thank you, PM Channel, for your
question here, and thanks so much for your support. Has Sheriff Zone or Maricopa County communicated anything lately to you regarding if they will take over the case? Do you think they plan to do anything? No, I mean the very disappointing part is I put in a FOIA request, you guys, as well. They ignored 2 of my FOIA requests. I even sent 1 certified. They ignored that. They had a certain amount of days to give it to me. They haven't done. They've been breaking the law with that. But the thing is, the other part is, no, I haven't gotten any feedback from them. While I've talked to a liaison that they utilize that communicate between me and Sheriff Zone. He said he was going to communicate something that I wanted to talk with Sheriff Zone about, and they have yet got back to me. So I'm saying, I'm letting them think I'm being very quiet. This is not a person that just goes out in the night and never be seen again. It don't work that way to me. I plan my things up very well and how I'm going to do it when I come back to strike back again. But you know what? Those things is it's not any kind of indication. Sheriff Zone can tell what kind of man I am because he was in my shoes as a father. I can respect you as a person. I can think a lot of you. Like I said, he's the first law enforcement officer who showed some real empathy towards my family's loss when it comes to Daniel being missing. He is like he took his rank off in the sense that way I look at it in the military in a way, and he showed me a real humanity of a person. That's fine. You could be a great person, but what you're doing with the whole department policy or whatever wise, and the way they're handling things this way, no, I don't. And there's more protectionism for law enforcement than it is to do some things that is necessary to make sure that I can find my son. Because if he was in my shoes, he'd be doing everything I'm doing. I'm sure of that, to make sure law enforcement, if he was in my shoes, is going to do everything they can to find answers. And those answers will come from those forensics that our tax dollars pay for. I was dual resident of Arizona as well. Tax dollars paying for that nice facility that he received, Sheriff Zone received. They have a rapid DNA testing facility, and that comes from tax dollars money. That's not his. It belongs to people. And I'm ask the people for them to do the forensics on my son's vehicle, on those clothing correctly, and I need that department to do that, and they're resisting that as well. So, and it's all to me is all about, even though you can be a good person, but at the end of the day, they're all blue, and they're going to try to defend Buckeye and make them look good and whatever they can do. That's why, guys, you read that report, it's so nicely, and I'm sure attorneys written all that up real nice and pretty. You can play a violin with it or something. So those type deals. So, real nicely make it appear that they did a whole lot and spread out and had these new officers saying this and that and whatever the case may be. That's the kind of things that I'm talking about in the past, but I mean in the future. That kind of stuff. But has Sheriff Zone and Maricopa County saying things lately? No, they're very quiet, and I guess at the same time, with them, they're thinking I'm very quiet. And but those squeaky wheels be rolling again soon. Anissa, thanks so much again. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks so much for moderating. This will allow all others to see Daniel's story. Please help spread awareness. Daniel deserves justice, and he does. All families deserve justice, and Daniel do too. And that's what I'm going to fight for. He can't speak for himself, so I'm definitely speaking for him. Sarah Miller, thank you so much for being here. Hello to you. Always praying for you and your family. Thanks so much. Thank you for your prayers. I truly appreciate that. God bless you. Ephesus, thank you so much for being here. It's been a while since I've caught it live. However, holding space for Daniel always. Are you able to give a quick update within the last couple of months? Well, nothing really significant has changed when it comes to status of actually finding Daniel and get some real information. All the thing that we have, more information came out of my investigator. Then, like I said, we have with law enforcement. Despite of where the report and those things, like I say, I'll talk about those later, was well written. Those things are spread out to make it look like a lot. But I'm telling you something, you guys, the efforts and information that we have about Daniel's case came from my investigator and also my efforts. For instance, those 11 additional miles to 46, all that information did not come from law enforcement. They utilized that stuff, but it didn't come from law enforcement. It came from our work and hard work, because if we didn't do this, law enforcement wouldn't have done it. When I said law enforcement, Buckeye wouldn't have done it. I had to be specific. I had a law enforcement agency one time before listening to the Q&A, got offended because I was saying broadly law enforcement, but I'm being specific about a department, and that's the Buckeye Police Department. So the thing is, haven't done anything to bring us closer to any answer. So all the answers and things, red transfer paints to you name it, all came from my efforts, money I paid for, the investigator I paid for. And so even the Mile IQ app, for instance, what they are utilizing hard to try to prove a point for themselves, which I'm going to prove. So you guys something else to that. But the thing is, utilizing that, it came from, again, something I point out to law enforcement. It was able to get an email out to them. I showed it to you guys as well. Send that email out to the Buckeye Police Department. So again, that'll just kind of also reiterate that though I don't have trust and faith in law enforcement, I try my best to work with law enforcement the best I can. Never held back evidence that Chief Hall accused me of a couple of times, and holding back evidence from them like I work for them, first of all. And I've been sharing more with them. Everything they talk about, I shared it with them. So that's how they receive those things. So anyway, holding space for Daniel. I truly appreciate you so much for being here. But yes, to do an update right now, nothing really moving outside of things that I'm doing in the background too, with other agencies and people to get law enforcement to get this case put in the proper place where we can find out exactly what happened. It's a stalemate, it's a stall. Long as it's staying in the hands of the Buckeye Police Department, nothing is going forward. We just stand in one spot. So I just want the Maricopa County. I seen the Maricopa County do it. I was looking on Facebook the other day in Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, and they had this missing person up there. And I said, oh, so they can do it, And when it comes to whoever they want to, and the thing was, when I say that, is that this person went missing in this police department's jurisdiction, but the Maricopa County is running it, right? So they can do it. The person went missing in Maricopa County as well, just like Daniel as well. So, of course, they should be doing it. And that's a better place to put it in than have it in a department who's stagnated and lost the ability to get answers. Also, questions. Thanks so much. Question from Ashley. Thanks so much for your question. Are Daniel's employees communicating with you all? Are they liable for his safety regarding like insurance since he was doing field work? Forgive me if this have been answered. Well, I don't want to go too deep into that part of it, but I can tell you, no, I haven't had any real communication with Matrix New World outside of the fact that you guys pointed out to me that my map has been missing off the website. Many may not know, but when I first started out searching for Daniel, Matrix New World, some of the workers used to come there to the search, but they had this mapping system that I used to go have meetings with them all the time, but they had this mapping system that I thought would be very beneficial of that area, that would be beneficial to my search. And so we had that map installed, include. I just added it to my website as to be up there so I can mark off areas that we search. So it was coming through the Matrix New World platform that they have. And somehow they just decided to, without asking me at time, decided because they lost space or something out of other, and they took it off, right? And one of you guys in one of the chats or whatever told me, hey, Mr. Rouser, hey, what happened to your sector map? And that's when I realized it was missing, and so that's the last conversation I had with that company to get it back up there running because we need it. And so right now that's where we're at with that on communication wise. But yeah, I don't want to get into the part of their liability, which I can say, you guys, if you have an employee who's been missing from your company, you are liable for at least calling the police, right? for at least going out to look for them. So that type deal. So some of those things are just natural for what you should do when you have a missing person from your company and they're on your time. So those things are stuff that we can't never ever just brush over and say a company is not liable for their employees while they're on the job. So yes, I agree with that part of it. And I did express that to the owners of Matrix New World back in 2021 when I used to have meetings with that company. My auntie as well, she called them her concerns about not just Daniel, but for also other workers who may be doing work out there in the desert alone and going to meet somebody out like Daniel had to go do out there with no any kind of things set up where something will go wrong with their employee. They can reach out to somebody really quick and get things rolled. Something that the company is paying for, tracking devices or whatever the case may be, to track their employees to make sure they're safe. Safety mechanisms. So those things wasn't in place. I hope they do have them now, and that'll be very good for other workers who maybe work for Matrix New World. Also, I have Yvonne. Thanks so much. Is there a possibility maybe he unknowingly went into cartel territory? I never take that out of the equation. Never did. I did have, many don't know. I had another private investigator that I never ever made public, and Mr. McGrath was unaware of as well at the time. But he was able to utilize some of his tools to try to explain to me that about those corridors that goes through that area, because we do have cartels that's the corridor. And matter of fact, is a corridor going straight through Phoenix as well. Where human trafficking happens, and also the drug trade and all that stuff, what it goes through. So anything possible out there. So I was never throw it out. Unlike Chief Hall, who was grandstanding when I told you guys he's out there grandstanding with a crowd of people accusing the cartels of doing. That's the way he put it off to me, of doing something to Daniel, putting in my head that maybe the cartels had done something, got Daniel something out of other. They landed their planes on Sun Valley Parkway, dropping their drugs and all kind of stuff he was telling us. You just don't know, and I haven't seen any indications of things like that yet. But you never know. I just, like I said, I keep my ear to the ground, and just look for anything, and and hopefully, hopefully that's not the case, and if it is, we can get something done to get my son, safely home. So, all right, and I have Yvonne. Thanks so much, Yvonne, for being here again. Yes, thank you so much. Hope he is found soon, and Alicia Navarro too. And I will be sharing some information about Alicia Navarro. Of course, I share every time I can. Jessica Nunez, her mother, a friend of mine too as well. And just to hear and just to know the pain that she's going through. I heard that Mr. Petito said something. He was talking about how certain stories, when you hear, all stories affect me, don't get me wrong, but sometimes when you hear certain things, certain people's, some things that hit you in a certain way. And so when I hear Miss Navarro tell her daughter's story, it hits me a certain way. A lot of it hit me a certain way. That's why I started Dan Ross Foundation, hearing those stories out in the desert. These families who've been looking for their loved ones for some 20 years, some 10 years, but they all talk about their loved one as if it happened yesterday. You cannot be human to hear those things and don't do something at the same time. Like I was saying, just hearing Miss Nunez and seeing her, it affects me. It affects me a lot. And, just to know her young daughter at 14 years old. So I share it as much as I can, share her story, and I will be sharing that tonight too. Also, thanking Nissa again for a super chat. You're so wonderful. Thanks so much. Mail-in protest here, you guys. Please help find Daniel.com. The information is on the front screen. how you guys can participate. Everybody can participate in that. Please, you guys, just really make it plain and simple for everybody. What I'm trying to do is have them to think about Daniel constantly. These letters is constantly coming in, you guys. I know, like, let's say somebody say, hey, I sent my letters off, and I'm, and I try to, I don't want to try to tell people, hey, man, you need to send more. But that's what I really need. You guys just keep sending all. It seems redundant. Like everybody say, you know what, this week I'm gonna send off 5. I'm gonna send off 3 this time. I'm gonna send off 1. I'm gonna send out, every week to send off something and say, hey, I'm sending these. Just put a stamp on. And I'm telling people. People say, Miss Ross, how can I donate? That's a way of donating, you guys. I'm gonna ask you guys if you don't mind getting a book of stamps, some envelopes, and I know it costs with ink because nothing cheap when you're printing ink. And to get those letters out there sent to these departments, that'll help. That'll help because that's what I'm doing right now, trying to push law enforcement to get Dane's case moved on Maricopa County, as well as get this forensics off my hand. That is breaking chain custody, as well as I don't know how long DNA lasts, that kind of stuff. So it's a crucial and the urgency for me. And this again demonstrates how law enforcement don't take urgencies until on things they feel like they should, and the way they want to take urgencies about things. This is a very urgent matter, and so I just really need that madness that I'm asking you guys to do to achieve the goal that I'm doing in the background as well, trying to put that pressure there. So that's what I'm asking you guys. You guys can really do that for me. Again, I really, by the bottom of my heart, truly appreciate that. So thanks so much. And the first time I see you put that there, that's why I kind of laugh and chuckle a little bit, Aaron. You're right; they haven't done anything, but it's the way you said it made me laugh because they haven't, and it's a facade, to appear a certain way. And again, you guys, I just feel like it's a thing of fighting to look at me. I've done this, make me look good or something. No, look at me. I found some real information about what possibly or what happened to this young man. That didn't impress me. That'll impress me a lot. And they haven't done that. Oh, look at it. We found this 11 additional miles, and this means so and so, blah blah blah. No, everything that we found, they try to find a way to beat it or something instead of embracing it and trying to find out information about it. We put 11 additional miles. They went all out to a dealership. They hired an investigator. You guys think about this. I'm telling you guys, look at the story. They hired an investigator who have never seen Daniel's vehicle, never touched it, never smelled it, never tasted it, never been around it. They even asked me, hey, Mr. Roberts, can we look at this vehicle so this investigator we have can examine it like your investigator did? No, they haven't. This man looked at third-party pictures and made a whole report, and that they're going with. You guys, depth perception issues on pictures, etc. Information deficit. They went to a dealership, not the manufacturers, about discrepancies on the mileage or something. That kind of stuff. If you want to be real ironclad, you would do things right, and they haven't done that. So no, they haven't done anything. They everything they was doing is trying to find a way to beat anything that came out from the physical evidence that my investigator and I found about Daniel case, and that's what goes on. A beat with I call them lies, in my opinion, lies about how many searches they did and things like that. And y'all heard the video? Y'all heard the recording of me talking? I'm recording myself talking to law enforcement, and you hear the officer talking to me, telling me they didn't even do no helicopter search on recording. You know what I'm saying? But they got in the report that they did. So I'm saying, you guys, that type stuff. So that's the kind of thing that angers me. But yeah, they haven't done anything. They haven't done anything but just giving y'all they put it on paper. And 9 times out of 10, people will believe anything law enforcement put on paper than the actuality or what really happens until an investigation is done and they come out in public and say, well, we saw the department's wrong for this, and they paying out some money to these families that they did wrong or something. Yeah, and that's the only time you find these say, oh, law enforcement did this. Yeah. But until then, they write on a piece of paper And you guys can see how many reports there. There's probably like 4 or 5 reports out there now from the Buckeye Police Department. All of them not matching up because I got all of them. And they changed things to fit a narrative. They changed up like they written this well-written book they written the last report. So that type deal. So anyway, off of that. Because that's what get me to a little part where I had to take a break off of social media and things like that because I get so upset with dealing with the whatever that last word you put there, Aaron Chase, that law enforcement put out sometimes. So I definitely thanks so much for putting that word in and saying it for me. Esther, thank you so much for being here tonight. And thank you. They should all have personal locator device, and they should when it comes to a job when you're out there working in a desert situation. And I hope they do. It's simple things. You got these little things called tags. They can carry tags if the company don't want to spend a whole lot of money. Whatever case, something that can help keep their employees safe when they're out there traveling alone in remote areas like my son had that day on June 23rd of 2021. So Ashley, thanks so much for being here. Yes, amen. I also did field work out in rural Southwest Texas. I'm so shocked that they have not maintained in partnership with y'all to help find the Daniel. It has always bothered me. I can't say, the company, and I'm gonna say this up front. The company, excuse me, you guys, I had to put a cough drop here. The company had, excuse me. Excuse me. Well, the company had donated to the GoFundMe at the beginning. I'm sorry, you guys. Sometimes I talk too long, I start choking. So give me a second, you guys. Yeah, but again, I hope I don't keep choking you guys. It happens sometimes when I'm on live. I can't say that the Matrix New World owners, the owner of Matrix New World, the mother of Daniel's friend, and by the way, the owner, her son is Daniel, one of Daniel's friends as well, and they have donated to the GoFundMe towards my efforts or everything. I don't know if it was at the time when they donated, at the time when I asked you guys to help me keep my boots on the ground in Arizona, or when a time when I was out there, actually out in the search. But nevertheless, they donated. And, I'm really happy about that when they did that. At the same time, I was disappointed with, the resources that I needed. The resources I needed out there to continue 49 week search. And the resources that was something that had to be continuously, and the efforts, not just the desert, but outside the desert, the leads and the thousands of flyers being put out, the billboards, you name it, all that stuff costs, people who had to pay investigators, etc. It costs. And, supplies, equipment, you name it. And, I can't say another thing that Matrix New World did offer. The co-owner, the husband, he did offer to give me, allow me to work outside the office. They had a little space in the back of their office space, and they said, "Hey, look, this area back here, you want to bring your equipment?" Because they see they had a lot of things. I was working at a hotel at the time. I had a lot of papers, and I had brought a printer, and I had to print out the stuff. And you should have seen the flyers when I first started. Those flyers were huge, and getting them laminated, and all this kind of stuff. And it was like, "Hey, look, you can work out of this office." And the reason why I told them no, because I think it wasn't wise for me to have that too close of a relationship with the job when my son was missing from that job, if you get what I'm saying. And I think that was a bad, it wouldn't be, isn't bad, they was good, I guess, their intentions were good, but at the same time, you know, it wasn't good for the situation. So I told them no, I don't think that was a good idea. So I continued to do what I had to do until I was able to get out of that hotel situation at the time. So you guys, I'm telling you, yeah. So to get Matrix or whatever, I was just a little disappointed with that part of the search that could have happened. I had to charter a helicopter before, and you know, I would think that they had the resources to be able to pay for a helicopter. You know, that's what I was looking for. I was constantly asking you guys for specialized drones because I've been hearing about the programs that certain drones. I can't think of the name of it right now, but that can actually look at ground disturbances and things like that. No matter how long ago it was, you know, to be able to see if somebody digged up something recently. You know, I needed those things out in the desert and was unable to get to this date. So, you know, and I need law enforcement to do it too. I want to lead them out of it, and they haven't done it to this date. So, um, so yeah, that was the only disappointing part. But I just want to give those things that Matrix Newer have done when it came to, you know, when Daniel first went missing. Also, I have a, let's see, anybody else? Mary, thanks so Mary for being here as well. I'm about to jump off, you guys. I said I wasn't gonna be on here long, and I get long-winded. I started feeling a little better in some area of talking, and but yeah, I definitely need to get off here. Forever curious. The Buckeye Police Department have failed on so many levels. Basic human decency, compassion, humanity doesn't appear to be something they are aware of. You know, I don't know, it's an ego trip. You know, so you know. If you say what's on the mind of Buckeye, I don't know the mind. There's no actions speak louder than words, and you only can judge a person by their actions. You only can judge a tree by whatever fruit they bear. And so those things is, you know, some things that give me the opinions I have about them. And you know, so I had to go by those opinions and the actions that I see, the non-actions also that I don't see. All right. None that I see. Rain, Lynn, thanks so much for being here. Question here: when Buckeye Police Department searched the well a few months ago, did I read it was? Did I read it right that they only went 700 feet down? The video went down over 1,000 feet. They probably did, and probably I can't remember how far they said it went down, but they said they went and pulled those things out and and the way they put it on the pictures, and they was really showing it on social media, is they put, I call it pocket change or something. They put some things, oh, wasn't nothing in this well. I say, but in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, where's this fence pole? Where's the thing that like a human skull? Where's, you know, certain things I'm looking for if they say they've been down there and I haven't seen that in the pictures to say, hey, oh, this what this is, you know, or this what this was. And, you know, so it kind of made me question anything that Buckeye do. Just like they did when they first went. They went in the well before, you guys. I had to force them to do it on a weekday. Many don't know Mr. Larnell Farmer and myself and another former police officer from another city. We met Buckeye out there and on a weekday. I had to force them to come out there to that well. I forced them to told them they need to bring a cadaver dog. They told me they was gonna do that. Here it is. They bought this little dog. I told you, you'll hear me say it about it all the time. My team always laugh about it. But the dog like a family pet to me. Some pure white dog. They say it's a cadaver dog. I don't want to argue them down about it, but it look like a family pet. And you know, I don't know what cadaver dog's supposed to look like, but I would think they look more like a German Shepherd type bloodhound or something. I don't know. But the thing was, anyway, they brought the dog out. And they kind of took it around and said, oh, the dog didn't alert or nothing. And then they took a camera in there with, I think it was some Maricopa County guys, posse or whatever they call themselves. They had a makeshift camera, literally, you guys, and a little cable to go down. And they went down in there, I think, to the level, came up to roughly 160 feet, I think it was. I can't remember, get to the water level. And that camera barely touched the water, and they pull it back up, say, oh, there's nothing to see here. Your son is not down in there. You know, And at the time, I was being really critical about law enforcement, about everything they wasn't doing. And, and I guess I was feeling a certain way too, because I'm not anti-police that people may think I am because I'm fighting for my son. I'm not anti-police. And so I didn't want to make it look like I was beating up on the cops or something. So I didn't say anything, but I had to go in there and find my way and was able to get another company to go in and do it right. Right. Other part is, yes, you're right. It went down near 1,000 feet down into that well where we saw something that appeared to be a human skull. I've been trying everything I can to get the FBI involved to look into it. I really have questions about the field office in Phoenix, but they do have some new leadership and hopefully get better. But the thing is, wanted them to go down in there and look, try to go in the media to get the media's attention about it. And finally, had I not made a phone call to Detective Biffin one day about something unrelated, they would have never told me they even looked. I just happened to see it on social media. That's the way I saw the pictures. But they haven't even said anything about, oh, yeah, by the way, yeah, we went down in this well today. Because they know if they would have told me, oh, we're going down this Saturday or Wednesday to look into this well, I would have been there. Just like they blocked me from going in the desert to see what they were doing with Civil Air Patrol, they would have blocked me from actually seeing what's really happening, that type deal. So, and that's the thing. That's the thing. So, but yeah, I don't know how many feet they went down, Rain, but I can tell you I didn't see a lot of the things that was down in there that I seen with the cameras. And y'all guys knows I still have those footages, those camera footages and things like that. All right, and thank you so much, you guys, for being here and joining in with me, Vizel. That's okay to hire someone to do it right, the honest way. Yes, and I had to do it that way, and it's a lot, you guys. And one day I will be able to really, really sit down and put things together. I've been saying it for the longest of time to put my own family. I call it a family report. And that would come in but this family report that I have would be a little different from law enforcement because I'm a civilian, private citizen. There'll be consistent of recordings to you name it, you guys. And so I have everything. Unlike the Buckeye Police Department, I would have things to back up. And when y'all guys see these things, then y'all start having questions about their report. And that's the reason why I'm going to have to do it that way, because they wrote an elegant, pretty report. But that pretty report and those key changes they had done the 4th and 5th time now, 3, 4, 5 times now, is what's going to get the Buckeye Police Department in trouble in the future. Because I call it falsifying things to fit a narrative that you really were looking for whatever reason. And so those things is some of the ways I have to do things whenever I can get that opportunity to really put it together, and they all be backed up by things that you guys can see tangibly. And understand how the reason why I fight so hard and seem so resistant to what the Buckeye Police Department do. And those things will be backed up based on facts and things like that. So I will keep talking about it until I put those things together in a packet, in a sense, where you guys can see it for yourselves. All right. And also, Ruru, thanks so much for being here. Thank you, Denise, for being here. Thanks for your prayers, Ruru. Thanks for your prayers, Denise. And I would find them. And again, thank you, Vizel, for being here. Before I go, you guys, and I almost forgot, and I had to do this because I didn't intend to be on this long, but I want to share a couple of things. I want to share some missing person, some missing loved ones story. I hope you guys can see this really well. If y'all can, I apologize. Let's see if I can get this right. And Vizel, sorry here. I hope you guys can see this pretty good. I'm working on the bigger portion. There you go. That should work. I'll just do it full screen. But anyway, we have a missing person here, you guys. Missing from missing since July the 16th, 2022. Right in my state, the missing from Pineville, South Carolina. Ruth Ann Jenkins. You guys, if you can seen her face, you know her, seen us around. Get this information. Look at her really good. Like I said, been missing since July the 16th of 2022. She is now 78 years old, from Pineville, South Carolina. Black female, dark hair, dark complexion, I'm sorry. Height is 5'4", 125 pounds, black hair, medium length, and her eyes is brown. She was last seen, Ruth, who suffers from dementia, was last seen on July the 16th walking along Highway 45 in Pineville area. She was wearing a gray shirt, jeans, and black glasses. Circumstance of disappearance, Ruth went for a walk. She may have been looking for her keys or family dog. She hasn't been seen or heard from since. So you guys, if you have any information, you can call the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office here, 843-719-4412, or you can call the Black and Missing Foundation, 877-97-BAMFI. You guys, also you guys can utilize this QR code on the bottom. Also, I have, excuse me, you guys, the next person would be here. We have Marlisha Love, you guys. And so, just look at her picture again, you guys. She's been missing since January the 6th of 2023 from St. Louis, Missouri. She is now 24 years old, black female. Complexion is medium, and her height is 5'5", 175 pounds. Hair is black. Hair length is short. Eye color is black. Last seen, Marlisha was Love was last seen. 23 was last seen and heard from on January the 6th. Her mother said Love was going to a friend's house the night of January the 6th. Another friend was with Love the day she was last seen. Circumstances, the friend said Love requested to be dropped off at the White Castles at the intersection of Delamar Boulevard and Kingsland Way Boulevard. The friend stated that Love got into the passenger side of an older model white Chevy Suburban and left the location. So again, you guys, anybody have information about it, can call the St. Louis Metropolitan Police at 314-444-5738 or Black and Missing Foundation, 877-97-BAMFI. Again, so also, you guys, this is good news, you guys. Well, I can't remember if it's actually good news, but this person was found. Ryan Jeremiah Gurley was found safe. So, sometimes good news do come out of missing person cases, and I hope that happened with a lot of families have missing loved ones to actually come back safe. It can happen, but he was missing July the 14th of 2023 and has been found safe. So again, like I said, those things can happen. So again, you have Charlie Mason also been found as well. Have Tyante Sellers went missing. Excuse me the names, you guys. You guys know I can butcher names, so I apologize for the family. Missing on July the 9th of 2023, aged 43 now, from Tampa, Florida. It's a black male. His complexion is medium. His height is 6'5". He's 300 pounds. He have a bald shaved head. Also, his eye color is brown. The location last seen, according to the family, he left Perry, Florida on Sunday, July the 9th, 2023, traveling on I-75, headed to Tampa, Florida. Last seen wearing a black shirt, red basketball shorts, black socks, and red box slides. He hasn't been seen or heard from since. Circumstance of disappearance, he was driving a white Nissan Armada SUV, and those are the tags there, you guys, is also missing. So the tags on the vehicle is missing as well. Anyone have information can contact the Tampa Police Department. They could contact the Tampa Police Department at 813-931-6500 or the Black and Missing Foundation, 877-97-BAMFI. Again, so thank you guys for listening on that as well. I have some other missing loved ones here. We have Nathaniel Kling. He's 12 years old, blonde hair and blue eyes. Been missing. Last seen on February the 2nd of 2023 near Pecos and Bonanza, missing an endangered child. So this is a child, you guys, and like I told you guys before, no matter what the circumstances are, we always got to remember whenever a child go missing, they're a child, they have a child mind. And so whenever we have missing children, I especially, say, hey, look, for adults too, don't get me wrong, we make sure the adults are safe, but children have a children in mind. Some people say, hey, what, the person ran away, but they're a child, and we want to make sure these children come home. He's possibly trying to make his way, he is possibly trying to make his way to the Woodlawn Cemetery on North Las Vegas Boulevard and Owens, or the Sunset Mobile Home Community, Bluebird Mobile Home Park. If you see him or have any information, please call Las Vegas Metropolitan, Police at 702-828-3111 or call 911, and Jessica, his aunt, at 405-655-5375, or you can hashtag find Nathaniel King. So, Nathaniel Kling, you guys. So try to make sure you remember this case as well. Also, we have missing Tammy Pickens. They reported me missing on 10/26 of 2022. I was last seen by my family on October the 14th, 2022. I was traveling with my two dogs. My name is Tammy Pitkin. I am described as 5'4", 5'4", and 160 pounds with blonde hair, hazel eyes, and 54 years old. One dog and my car were found 30 miles east of Sweet Home, Oregon. Oh man, that's crazy. That's really far. Cope and I are still missing. If you have any information, please contact Lynn County Sheriff's Office at 1541-967-3950, missing and crime bites. And lastly, I have here missing Minnesota and Wisconsin, vantage person, Shiloh Peterson, last seen in Barobu, Wisconsin on February the 17th of 2023. You guys, please pardon me with the pronunciations. Shiloh is a white female, 5'6" and 110 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. She has a tattoo of a skull on her neck, Shiloh tattoo on her chest, and a tattoo of a tiger face on her left thigh. Shiloh's location is unknown. She does associate with others in the Barobu and Lake Delton area. Shiloh is 30 years old. If you see her, call the Barobu Police Department Sergeant Detective Jeff Shyman, 608-355-2720. So again, you guys, thank you so much for allowing me to share that. And lastly, you guys, I have to do this before I leave, and you guys can stick in here with me. Is one case in particular. I always make sure you guys watch this video and share Alicia Navarro's story. Thank you.
My name is Jessica Nunez. I am Alicia Navarro's mom. My daughter disappeared on September 15, 2019. She left a note indicating, "I ran away. I will be back. I swear. I'm sorry, Alicia." Since that day, there has not been a trace of her. She liked helping others. My daughter is a sweet, loving, smart child. She has autism, so she has challenges, and I'm very worried for her. She loved penguins. She loved reading books. And she's a very smart girl that liked technology. If you could please take a moment to look at my daughter's photo. She could be your daughter, your relative. So please take a moment to look at that picture and see if you could help to be able to locate my daughter and bring her safe home.
Again, you guys, this is Alicia Navarro, and Jessica Nunez, her mother, shared her story with me on the event. I first met her on a day of remembrance. She and Mr. Risto, we had Mr. Risto as well. His son is missing, and we're sharing these stories. You guys, the information is on the bottom of the screen. The 1-800 the lost. You guys see that on the video as well as the information here on the bottom. If you have any information, you can call 911 or the Glendale Police Department in Arizona. That's 623-930-3000. Or you can call the Anti-Predator Project at 305-796-4859. So again, you guys, thanks so much for being here tonight. Thanks for allowing me to spend some time with you guys, and also tell you guys how some of the things that was going on with me too. That I had to take a break. You guys, one of the things I'm saying really quick again is, you never know how people have to deal with having a missing loved one and how painful those things really become. Some people think I can be made out of some steel or something, but I do have emotions. I do have a heart. I have a fight though that keep me in the fight for my son. But sometimes things can become a little too much. We all have our tolerant levels, and we all have levels where sometimes we have to recognize and think about it before. Think about it. Just really pay attention to yourself and think about it, and try to make sure you do what you need to do for yourself. Stay healthy. Everything you need to do to be there for that fight. I have to be there for Daniel. Have to fight for him, and I have to make sure I do everything I can in my power to make sure I'm able and physically fit to do so. And so I had to take a little break. You guys will see me do some lives. It will not be as many as I used to, or I may have a big kick or something, but it won't be something that just be set on stone. So if you go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, you'll see how I have lives will be posted, just like I did tonight when I decided to be having that strength and that mentality to be able to jump on and go forward. So again, you guys, thank you so much for sharing your time with me this evening. You didn't have to do that, and you did. You're showing your love. Don't forget to hit that like and share, subscribe button to help the algorithms grow this channel so I can get Daniel's story out, Father. Get stories like Miss Navarro and some Miss Peterson that went missing as well that I shared tonight. So again, you guys, thanks so much. I love you, each and every last one. I'll see you next time. God bless you.